there's 10 spots. How am I gonna do this? There's so many good girls. I mean, Epson's extremely competitive, and you need to be in it every week to make it off the tour. And, I was certainly shown that very quickly that, I couldn't just go out and win everything and get my card. That wasn't an immediate thing. In fact, I didn't win anything on Epson. So, I think it really opened my eyes to, how many amazing golfers there are out here.
The mental side of golf, especially during tournament golf, is insane. I don't think anybody can relate to it until they're in the final group on a Sunday. When people say that I'm a professional golfer, I always tell them the hardest part of being a professional golfer isn't actually playing golf.
How I got into the game of golf was my dad was trying to teach my brother, and I kind of just picked up a club and started hitting, and it was pretty natural, and played a lot of sports growing up, but golf was always the one I went back to and played, US Kids, Plantation Tour, FCWT. We moved down to Orlando when I was 11, and when I turned 12, I started playing AJGA, and everything went kind of quick from there. I committed to the University of Florida when I was 15, my freshman year, and went to college for 2 years and then turned pro, and been on Epson for 5 years.
Growing up in Georgia was, I think, any kid's dream. I was a big soccer player growing up, and my team split up, so then I kind of played every sport under the sun, and my dad was like, why don't you try golf? And I think having 2 older brothers, I had to always have somebody else to do something with, and with golf I could do it by myself, I could get better by myself, and kind of just do everything whenever I wanted. So I think that's what I liked most about golf when I picked it up.
So transitioning from college to pro golf was good in the beginning. And then Q School came around, and I think after the first round I was in the top 10. I was staying at home because I live an hour from Daytona, and my neighbor's house burned down. So we spent pretty much the entire night awake, which was a hard place to be after being in the top 10 and being like, okay, 4 more rounds, we got this. And I think I shot 80 the next day. It was just not a good showing. It was just an uphill climb. I ended up getting Epson status, which in the moment it was like, okay, now what? So I was like, all right, it's gonna be great. We'll go to Epson and we'll have a great year and we'll get our card there. And then rookie year was hard. And then I was graduating college that December of my rookie year, and I decided to forego Q School that year and go to my college graduation. So I was on Epson another year. Then we had some family things going on. My brother was getting married over Q School my second year on tour, so I skipped Q School again and had a really, really rough season during that whole process. I don't even think I finished in the top 80, so I wasn't guaranteed full status the third year. So when that all came past, I found a new coach and rebuilt my swing, really focused on my mental game, and came back the next year. And then COVID happened. I got to take a pause and really work on my golf game. And when we came back from the break, I had a really good season, but no one moved up. So now I'm in year 4. And then my second event out, I ended up almost winning. So I jumped into the top 10 and rode that for a while. I'm like, okay, we're gonna get our top 10 card this year. And got into Q Series. And I was like, all right, this is 8 rounds. We got this. The first round, hole 6, I call a penalty on myself. I remember the rules official saying, I hope that shot doesn't cost you anything. And then I missed the cut by 1.
My journey on the Epson Tour is kind of not like anybody else's. With COVID kind of messing up everyone's schedule, they only took 5 cards that year, and I ended up getting 6th at the end of 2020 by, I think, $300, which kind of equates to 1 shot, 1 putt out of the whole season. And then the following year, I got 12th on the money list when it was back to 10 cards. And then last year, 2022, I got 11th. So I missed out on my card 3 years in a row, and it's just kind of hard to look back through your whole season and think about all the shots that you could have done better. Just there's so many things that you can lay in bed and think about at night. And really it's just the battle within yourself. The lonely nights in your hotel room, literally the lonely dinners. So there's a lot of dark places I guess you can let yourself go. But yeah, people don't ever see that side of golf. I know there's a lot of girls that battle depression and anxiety out here, and you just gotta find the positives and find kind of what makes you happy out here. And I think that was probably the most challenging thing for me early in my years playing on the Epson Tour and playing professional golf. I always think of the word amnesia, just to forget about everything that's going on and commit to that moment. And you just forget what happened in the past, and you can only affect what's in the present and your current shot. And after it's over, you can't do anything about it. So it's kind of just what I think about on the golf course and what I focus on.
I think I went into year 5 with a different mentality. I had a lot more self-belief, and I actually made another coaching change. And the first lesson I had with him, he said, "Sam, there's more than one way to Charlotte," meaning the tour. I was like, you're right. So I really focused on that, and I put my sights on, if we get the top 10 card, that's amazing, but let's go to Q Series. And I went back to Q Series with such a patient mindset and just chipped away at the 8 rounds and ended up finishing 6th, and here we are. Epson's been absolutely great in terms of coming in, immediately supporting and impacting how day-to-day life is on Epson Tour and making it easier for girls to continue playing. Even just being out here and supporting us while we get going has been huge.
Being able to start on the Epson Tour, I think, was honestly the best thing that could have happened for me. There's just so many learning experiences and maturity that I needed to go through before I came out onto the LPGA Tour. How to practice, how to work out, how to prepare for tournament weeks. The strength of the fields on the Epson Tour is so strong, and to be able to come out here knowing that I've survived on that tour and succeeded for 3 years in a row, I think that just gives me all the motivation in the world that I can succeed on the LPGA Tour.